thank God for changing my genotype from AS to AA.
I'm an evidence of the liberation mandate, even when the doctors gave up on me, but God did not give up on me.
Few days after my son was circumcised, he was diagnosed of hypospadias, which required a minor surgery. And in that process, further test was revealed that he was having ASD and VSD, which is two types of hole in his heart, and required an emergency surgery before he gets to 6 months. Also, an echo was carried out, and I was asked to send the results to a hospital in Lagos where the surgery will be done, and I was billed 18.9 million. At that point, my faith was challenged, and I went back to the testimony shared on the exalted altar, and I picked my keyword, which was nothing dies in my hands. I spoke it to my son at every point in time. Nothing dies in my head. I would say it in his ears, that nothing dies in my hands. I also engage in outreaches, backing my son on my back and proclaiming of how God has preserved my son. And I kept administering the kingdom mysteries, which was anointing my son and always putting the mantle around his chest. A few months later, through divine connection, FMC brought some surgeon to have the open heart surgery done at a lesser cost, and my elder sister miraculously paid the bills and other expenses. On the 1st of May 2024, Ethan was booked for the open heart surgery, and at that time he was weighing 4.3, and he went in. They took him into the theater. After 9 hours, my son came out successfully. 2 days later, I sat at the front of the theater and I heard a voice, "Go and serve me." I now looked, I said, "No, I want to sit down in the front of this theater because I want to sit here and pray." I heard the second time, "Go and serve me." So I decided to obey that word, and I left the hospital. Meanwhile, it was the liberation mandate all night, so I decided to go and serve. I went with my voice of thanksgiving and I prayed like never before. While Bishop David Oyedepo made declaration, he said, "Nothing dies in your hands." I took the word like never before again and said, "Nothing dies in your hands." When I got to the hospital, I was told that my son suddenly convulsed at the middle of the night and his left lungs got collapsed and he was having nerve damages. Immediately I heard that, I went to my son and I said, "Ethan, I am coming back from the exalted altar." I said, "Ethan, receive that divine grace. Nothing is going to happen to you, and I'm returning to Shiloh for my testimony concerning you." Lo and behold, another history was done after 24 hours, and it was confirmed that the collapsed lung got restored miraculously. Before the surgery, my son was at the move of crawling, but after the surgery, my son could not sit, he could not do anything, he could not lift his left hands. So I began to administer the anointing oil and the mantle. I was always tying the mantle on his chest. At 1 year, my son could sit firmly, and at 13 months, he could crawl, and at 14 months, he could stand with little or no support. In October 2024, another echo was done, and where they said my son's heart was fit and he no longer needs any anti-failure drugs to live. Now that my son is healed, I have come to return all glory to the God of this great commission who fought the battle for me, and at last my son is firm, my son is healthy, and the growth is increasing per day. Glory be to God.